This is The Gist, the essential podcast for the discerning listener.
Welcome to The Gist. I'm John.
And I'm Mary. It is Friday, July 24th, 2026.
Let's start with a reality check on your next smartphone. Qualcomm, the world's biggest maker of smartphone processors, is jacking up prices.
We're talking a double-digit percentage increase. Bloomberg reports Qualcomm is pointing directly to rising costs.
What does this really mean? The era of cheap consumer electronics is over.
Right. We are seeing the end of a long deflationary cycle. For years, tech just got cheaper and better. Now, the geopolitical split between the United States and China is forcing companies to build duplicate factories and secure separate supply chains.
It is like having to build two identical kitchens in your house just so you can cook the same meal. It is wildly expensive.
Exactly. And Qualcomm isn't going to eat that cost. Absorbing the overhead of duplicated global trade would crush their profit margins. So they pass the bill down the line to phone manufacturers and, ultimately, to us.
Now, it's true that these new chips are incredible. They have advanced artificial intelligence capabilities, giving you more computing power per dollar.
But a huge chunk of this price hike is just the cost of friction. Well, we all want national tech sovereignty and resilient supply chains. This is the price tag. It basically operates as a direct tax on the consumer.
Let's pivot to the global stage. Big moves in the Middle East. The United States and Saudi Arabia just finalized a deal for American companies to build civilian nuclear reactors in the kingdom.
This has been in the works for a while. If we look at the resource flow here, it's a massive win for American tech providers. Saudi Arabia is taking its deep pools of energy capital and directing it toward the United States rather than geopolitical rivals like China or Russia.
It is a strategic lock-in. You build the reactor, you control the maintenance and fuel supply for decades.
Meanwhile, in the Black Sea, energy markets are getting jittery. Russia's largest oil port in the region just paused tanker loadings.
The cause? A surge in Ukrainian drone attacks. Bloomberg notes this is creating immediate supply bottlenecks.
Think of it like a major highway toll booth suddenly catching fire. Traffic stops and alternative routes cost more. Global shipping is now slapping a security premium on oil prices. We all pay for that risk at the pump.
Looking up, commercial spaceflight is taking another leap. NASA and Blue Origin, that's an American aerospace manufacturer, just signed an agreement to test the new Glenn rocket.
This is a heavy lift orbital vehicle. It is a massive rocket, crucial for Artemis, which is the United States-led effort to put astronauts back on the moon.
What is interesting is the incentive structure. NASA isn't trying to build everything in-house anymore. They are decentralizing. They're handing the launch architecture over to commercial partners to hit their 2027 mission goals.
NASA gets cheaper flights, and private companies get massive government contracts. It is a win-win for American space infrastructure.
Over in Europe, trade relations with the United States are taking a weird turn.
Washington just slapped a 10% tariff on European Union goods. Politico reports this follows a 5-month investigation into forced labour. But here is the kicker. The European Union actually welcomed the news.
Why would you cheer a tax on your own exports?
Because it could have been worse. The United States stayed under a 15% cap they agreed to during a truce last year. European leaders are relieved the costs are predictable.
We are seeing a shift from free trade to managed mercantilism. Countries are fine with trade barriers as long as everyone agrees on the height of the wall.
It is not pure protectionism, though. The United States is using this duty as an enforcement tool for human rights, but it definitely normalises arbitrary tariffs between allies.
Let's look at German politics. Chancellor Friedrich Merz of the centre-right Christian Democratic Union, or CDU, is reorganising his cabinet.
He named Nina Walken as head of the Chancellery and Carsten Linnemann as health minister, but the wider reshuffle suddenly stalled out.
Right. According to ZDF, the delay is over firing Transport Minister Patrick Schneider. Internal party politics are taking priority over running a functional government. It is entirely about leverage, not administrative efficiency.
Let's talk about the escalating tit-for-tat between Brussels and Beijing. China just restricted 14 European defence and tech firms.
This comes just a day after the European Union sanctioned 14 Chinese and Hong Kong entities for having ties to Russia.
The fallout here is real. Defence contractors are being forced to localise their supply chains. If you can't trust the global market, you have to build at home. It accelerates capital flight and fractures global trade even further.
Finally, a stark reminder of the war on Europe's doorstep. Euronews reports a Romanian F-16 fighter jet just shot down a drone in its airspace using an air-to-air missile.
Eastern European nations are actively spending expensive military capital, like an advanced air-to-air missile, just to manage border incursions.
It structurally raises the baseline cost of regional defence.
Taking the temperature of the day, everything carries a security premium right now, from the microchips in our pockets to the oil in our tankers and the borders of Eastern Europe. Geopolitical friction is no longer an abstract concept. It is a literal line item on the bill. Tech is advancing and commercial space is opening up, but the toll for playing on the global stage has never been higher.
If you found today's breakdown useful, we'd love for you to join our daily newsletter. It is completely free and it is the absolute easiest way to get the gist delivered right to your inbox. Just tap the subscribe link in the show notes.
Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time.
The Gist, News Digest, and podcast are entirely written and produced by artificial intelligence. The Gist is out 3 times a day, every day, providing you with a liberal perspective on what to expect next. For more information and donations, visit thegist.online. Thank you for listening.